Hello everyone, and welcome. I know those board exams are right around the corner, but please, don't you worry. Today we're going to do a very quick revision of the chapter, Manufacturing Industries. My promise is that by the end, you'll feel much more prepared and confident to answer any question from this section.
I know it can feel a little stressful right now, and that's completely okay. But the good news is, this is a very high-scoring chapter. If we revise it smartly, you can definitely secure some excellent marks. So let's do this together.
Our goal is simple. We're going to do a fast but very clear revision of the whole chapter. I want to make sure you can recall all the key points when you're sitting in the examination hall. Are you ready? Okay, let's begin.
So, first things first, let's start with the basics, the what's and the why of manufacturing. You know, if you understand this fundamental part, you'll have a strong foundation for any answer you write for this chapter.
So, what do we mean by manufacturing? Well, it's actually a very simple idea. It's the production of goods in large quantities by processing raw materials to create more valuable products. For example, we take sugar, a raw material, and we get sugar, which is more valuable. We take wood, and we get paper. That transformation, that's the heart of manufacturing.
Now, why is manufacturing so important that we call it the backbone of the economy? Well, look at all these points. It helps modernize our agriculture. It creates a huge number of jobs, not just in factories, but in transport and banking too. This helps reduce unemployment and poverty. It also helps develop backward areas, which reduces the gap between different regions. And of course, when we sell these goods to other countries, it helps us earn valuable foreign exchange. So remember, the economic strength of a country is really measured by its manufacturing industry.
All right, let's move on to the next important topic, the classification of industries. This is a very common question in exams, so let's pay close attention. If you can remember these categories, your answers will look very well structured.
So, the first way to classify them is based on the raw materials they use. It's quite simple, really. On one side, we have agro-based industries. As the name suggests, they use raw materials from agriculture, like cotton, jute, or sugar. On the other side, we have mineral-based industries. These industries use minerals that we dig from the earth, like iron ore for steel or limestone for cement. Got it? Agro-based and mineral-based.
Now let's talk about ownership. Basically, who runs the industry? First is the public sector, which is owned by the government, like SAIL. Then you have the private sector, owned by individuals or companies, like Tisco. Then there's the joint sector, which is a partnership between the government and private individuals. And finally, the cooperative sector. This is where producers and workers own and run the industry themselves, like the sugar industry in Maharashtra.
Okay, time for a quick round of some of the most important industries. For your exams, you just need to remember a few key facts for each of these, and that'll be enough to write a great answer.
Let's start with the cotton textile industry. Now, this is a very special one because it's completely self-reliant in our country, from growing the raw cotton to making the final garment. And a very important fact to remember, the first successful textile mill was established in Mumbai in 1854. This is why Maharashtra and Gujarat, the cotton-growing belt, became the main centers.
Next up, jute textiles. For this, you just need to remember these key points. 1. India is the largest producer of raw jute. 2. We are the second largest exporter, right after Bangladesh. 3. Most of our jute mills are located along the Hooghly River in West Bengal. And 4. The first jute mill was set up near Kolkata in 1855. Perfect points for your answer.
The iron and steel industry is often called a basic industry. Why? Because it provides the raw material, steel, for so many other industries like cars, machinery, and construction. This diagram here simplifies the entire process, right from taking the raw material to the plant to shaping the final steel.
Now for aluminum. It's the second most important metallurgical industry in India. It's a fantastic metal. It's very light, it doesn't rust, and it's a good conductor of heat and electricity. That's why we use it to make airplanes and wires. But for this industry to work, two things are absolutely essential: a regular supply of electricity and its raw material bauxite at a low cost.
Now let's just quickly touch upon a few other important industries. For the chemical industry, remember there are two types: inorganic and organic. For the cement industry, the key is that it needs very heavy and bulky raw materials like limestone. The automobile industry really took off after the policy of liberalization. And finally, the IT and electronics industry, with Bengaluru as its capital, is a huge creator of jobs in our country today.
So we've seen how important industries are for our economy, but they also have a negative side, and that is pollution.
This is a very important topic, not just for your exams, but for us to understand as citizens. So let's look at it closely.
First, we have air pollution. This is caused when factories release smoke and harmful gases like sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide into the air. This not only damages our environment, like causing acid rain, but it also has very bad effects on human health.
And it's not just the air. Industries are also a major cause of water pollution. When they release untreated chemicals and wastewater directly into our rivers and lakes, they poison the water, which is extremely dangerous for aquatic life and for humans who depend on that water.
Next, there is land pollution. When industries dump their waste, which can include things like glass, chemicals, and plastics, it damages the soil and makes it infertile. This waste can also seep into the ground and pollute our groundwater sources.
And finally, let's not forget noise pollution. The constant sound from industrial machinery and construction sites isn't just irritating, it can lead to serious health problems like hearing loss, increased heart rate, and a lot of stress.
All right, we've covered all the core concepts. Now for the section that will help you boost your score. We will quickly go over some essential map work, and then I will give you some final tips for your exam.
Okay, for map work, let's start with textile centers. The 4 important ones you must remember are Mumbai and Surat in the west, Kanpur in the north, and Coimbatore in the south. Please practice locating these on a map of India. Next, let's look at the iron and steel plants. The key locations are Jamshedpur, Bhilai, Rourkela, and Durgapur. Notice how they're clustered in the Chotanagpur Plateau region. Make sure you can identify these 4 places. They are asked very frequently.
And finally, the software technology parks. The most important ones to remember are Bengaluru, which is often called the electronic capital of India, Noida, Hyderabad, and Pune. These are our major IT hubs.
So, are you ready to do well in your exam? Here are my final tips for you. Please underline the keywords in your answers. It helps the examiner. Try to attempt all the questions, manage your time well, and of course, write neatly. But most importantly, please stay calm and confident. You have prepared well. Trust yourself. You are going to do great. All the very best.